come across the fact that there are actually at least 9 different forms of greenwashing that companies apply on us, consumers, on a daily basis. And well, we've all come across greenwashing before. We know that it's companies using misleading representations of products as sustainable, just to get consumers to buy their products, to improve their bottom line. So greenwashing is really a very common thing that we encounter on a daily basis. Obviously, companies presenting products as sustainable misleadingly to get consumers to believe that they are more eco-friendly, more sustainable, to get them to pay a premium on their products that are marketed as green or eco-friendly. And they often do that to basically reduce the need to be sustainable. It is often perceived to be cheaper to pay any fines or work through the repercussions of being found not to be sustainable than to undertake real sustainability in a company. A lot of research has actually found that it's not true, that sustainability initiatives don't just increase sales or get a better price for products, but often help improve the company culture, impact on operations positively, can just reduce costs for a company overall. So imagine my surprise when I realized it's not just greenwashing as one big word. There are actually 9 different types that companies can do that, and there's one obvious one that is data. So sustainability accounting is complex, but there's also a form of cherry picking of data, using accounting types that aren't fully disclosed, or maybe just a lack of understanding of how to put together those statistics in the first place, and missing bits. So that can lead to misleading or false data. There's also labeling. A lot of companies label their products as green, as eco-friendly, as sustainable without any evidence. So it just says, this is green. So don't get me wrong, there are legit certificates like the Rainforest Alliance Fair Trade, there is the Forest Stewardship Certificate, there is the Marine Stewardship Certificate. There are many different certificates, but just calling a product green or how you run your business environmentally responsible, that's just a buzzword. That isn't something that you can prove or that anybody can check, really. So that is a form of greenwashing. Then there's green lighting. That is probably something that we come across very often, which is when companies focus their comms on just the nice bits, on, I don't know, having 10% recyclable content in their packaging, focusing on their recent tree planting initiative with their employees, and really just making sure that we focus on that. It's a look over there kind of initiative, and that is actually sister to green hushing, which is the opposite. It's intentionally downplaying or hiding parts of your operations or of the products that aren't so sustainable, that aren't eco-friendly, and is therefore a form of deception by omission. So you've got green lighting, you've got green hushing. There's also green shifting, which I didn't know about, but it does make a lot of sense, which is like a company saying, we're all for sustainability and we support our consumers, our customers, going all for it. basically they're shifting the responsibility for sustainability to their consumers and cheer them on to pursue this sustainable future while not doing much about it themselves other than lip service. Then there's green crowding. It makes sense. I wasn't in that way aware of it, that companies can really crowd together behind one sort of surface, band together as groups to hide individual actions, because once you are in a group, in a, I don't know, alliance, it's really hard, it becomes a lot harder to identify individual responsibilities for sustainability impacts. So they found a way to share responsibility without taking any on individually, in a sense. And there is, of course, there's deceptive imagery. We all know marketing nowadays has like pristine ecosystems, happy children, lush greenery everywhere, just to make it look like whatever they're selling is extremely sustainable, extremely eco-friendly, bio, whatever. And it gives us the illusion that the company is doing more for our sustainable future than it actually does. Another form is offsetting. Now this can be part of the bigger picture, don't get me wrong. It's good if companies look into it and try to offset their emissions with genuine offsetting initiatives. This helps them enhance their public image, but it also distracts from the company's operations. So they can say, well, we're offsetting all of our emissions with this, I don't know, rainforest initiative. However, they might still be using entirely fossil fuel based energy resources. They might be doing dubious things in the background that we don't know about. And that sort of goes hand in hand with the next one, which is certifications. Don't get me wrong, I mentioned them earlier. Certifications are a great thing. They allow us to put a common understanding, a common ground on the sustainability of companies. But again, they should just be a part of the picture, not the picture. So generally that's a good thing, but it depends on the focus. So we need to be aware if whatever certificate is being used focuses on embodied emissions or operational emissions. We need to be aware that this is just an incomplete part of what they're doing. And and we need to be aware that this can also be part of the green lighting, where they just say, yeah, but look, we have XYZ certificate, so we must be the good guys. All of these have various impacts on how they affect consumers and also the company itself. At the very least, what they do is impact the real efforts on sustainability a company can take. They can mislead customers. They might give companies a ticket to continue with whatever harmful operations they're running. And they really distract from what should be their actual goal if they perceive themselves to be a responsible green company, which should be a lasting positive impact on the environment. Yeah. So if this is something that you agree with, or if you can think of examples that you've come across lately, you can leave a comment in the chat below. And I'll keep a lookout for other things that I find interesting in the sustainability arena.